Hello there, Croeso and welcome. I'm Shadow Lennox. Today I am playing Risk of Rain 2, a game that has become available to us through PlayStation Plus Extra or Premium. And I'm going to show you what the game is, how it plays, and explain a few things because the tutorial, while there is one, doesn't really explain what's going on. And there are a few things that you'd have to figure out through subsequent runs because this is a roguelike game. Not all roguelites play the same. They have the general vibe where you're going to repeat runs and that it won't be the same thing that happens every single time. There'll be ways to change the runs, and we'll get into that as we play through. So we'll skip this intro. So we got all the things that are available here. Multiplayer split screen for couch co-op at home, always good. And online multiplayer up to 4 players, but we're going to be jumping into the single player game. I have played through this game a few times, completed a few runs, so I've got a few of the characters that you don't start off with. You start off with these two, the Commando and the Huntress. If you click on any of the characters, you can get an overview of what that character does, their skills, their loadouts. There are challenges you can do to unlock variations of these skills, but we're just going to keep it all the same. And over here you can change the difficulty. I do recommend starting your first few runs on easy. It just generally makes things better. You can get some artifacts and some, I guess they're items, runes, but we'll see as we go through. But we're going to go on normal and jump in with the Commando. You'll always just drop into one of the levels. Now, the level you drop into will be random, but the layout of each of the biomes doesn't change, just the placement of everything. So first thing off the bat, we have a 3D printer here. You put an item in of similar rarity to get this item out, but we don't have any items right now, so let's move on. Most characters have a sprint, but not everyone does, which is on L3. And we're just going to work our way through, start finding enemies. The Commando has a really simple attack. And we want to just start killing enemies to build up money so we can start buying stuff. We've got some drones here. These will be drones that once you pay to repair them, they'll follow you around. This will help you. But our main objective, as you can see on the right of the screen, is to find and activate the teleporter. They'll be the same for all the levels. That was a healing drone, very handy to have. I like getting drones personally, but you won't always be guaranteed to find them. At least not in the earlier levels. The more you hang around, the more enemies will appear. Keep that in mind. You can eventually get rid of all the enemies in an area and you'll move on. But don't worry about if you fall off the edge, you'll just spawn back onto the level minus some health. There's my healing drone. See, your health does regenerate, but not super quick. This might be a run that's over straight away. Got to pay a bit more attention to what I'm doing. So I'm looking now. Got some money in the bag. I'm in no immediate risk of dying. So I want to find that teleporter, but at the same time I want to find anything that I can in the level that can help me. It looks like another drone there. Gunner drone this time. We'll take that. Haven't come across any items yet, but I will. There's another drone there. Don't quite have the money. There we go. Here's a box here. This would be a healing item. Doesn't always tell you what you're going to get, but it's pretty self-explanatory, that type of box. Pick off some of these enemies then. Now you can just see I just leveled up there as well. You gain experience as well as money. So there's my first item. Drop healing orb on kill. It'll always be random what you pick up. And these items can make or break a run. Get another drone. As far as I can tell, there's no limit to the amount of drones you can have following you, other than just what you can find. But I'd like to get as many as possible, and you can get some pretty crazy ones. Get some equipment drones that will use your equipment, which would be on your triangle if you have it. That drone there, that is placed, that will never move. But when I spawn into a new level, it will follow me and they'll just be placed randomly. Take another drone, another healing one. It's going very well actually. I personally like drones over the items to begin with anyway, as it can make up for a lot of the deficit you find. But once you start building up a big range of items, then the game starts changing quite drastically. Let's see what we got this time. Critical strikes, increase attack speed, stacks 3 times. So I still haven't found the main teleporter yet. So I want to keep finding that. If you notice as well, where my objective is, there's a slider, a difficulty slider. And it seems I did start on... no I didn't. And that is just going to, as the game plays on, that keeps going up. Eventually the difficulty starts to increase. We've got here a Shrine of Chance, so I could spend money for a chance at getting an item. Not always guaranteed, but we'll take that. Increase attack speed. And there are so many different type of item upgrades. As you start playing through the game more, you'll eventually unlock artifacts, and these can really change the game. One of them in particular is set so whenever you open a box you have to choose what item you get. So knowing what all the items are, what their upgrades and how they work together, because they can conflict with each other. That turns certain items off, so always be careful. But to begin with, you just want to pick up whatever you can. As you pick up the items, you'll unlock them permanently then for future runs, and you'll unlock them in your logbook as well, where you can see what they do. 10% chance to get critical strikes, dealing double damage. Not bad. You can pick up multiple of the same item, and that will increase its bonus. This can get can make it quite ridiculous. So, still haven't found the teleporter yet, and I'd like to find that as quickly as possible. Just so I know what I'm doing, where I want to be fighting. Because when you activate the teleporter, you'll activate the boss of the level. The longer, and as you can see, the longer you spend in the level, the harder it'll get. And it compounds across the whole run. So we got a good bit of money, so I can open any boxes I come across. So now it is time to find this teleporter. Fortunately, I do know most of these levels, so I know where it potentially could be. I think I see it up there. It won't always, the teleport will never always be in the same place. They'll always be randomly placed within the biomes, but the biomes are always the same. So, activate the teleporter. We've been here long enough. Let's get that first boss. Fortunately, I got quite a few drones to help heal me and to help attack the boss. There are items that can increase the damage you do to bosses, and I really like to find them where I can. That 3D printer I mentioned at the beginning, don't tend to use them that often. So the boss has been defeated, and they'll always drop an item around the teleporter. I just picked up something called the Warhorn. It'll always be random as well. But yeah, as I was saying, I like to, if I ever see one of those 3D printers with boss damage, I'll tend to use them if I can. There'll always be random what item you use, but there are ways to get around that. There are certain, I haven't come across one yet, there are certain devices that you can put in unwanted items, and you'll get blocks which will be prioritized whenever you use a 3D printer. So we're just waiting now for the teleporter to finish charging. Kill as many enemies as you can. You don't actually have to. The teleporter charges just by you being in proximity to it. Now it's finished, we'll go through. Again, you want to avoid hanging around. The more you do, the more difficult the game will become. We'll teleport now to the next zone. This will again, it'll always be random. The wetland aspect, but the biomes are always the exact same layout. It's just the placement of things within them. Notice I haven't got any money anymore, but I have got all my drones. Go, so barrels. So I want to find some enemies. I do want. Got these here. We got a choice of 3 items. You pick one, and then it'll just be all closed off. Got another box up here. So now we just really want to just get some enemies to spawn. Once they do, they'll all start coming. There we go. Start building up some money. Start picking up some of the items. Once you've picked up a few items from the level, then I start hunting the teleporter, unless I see it straight away, which sometimes happens, as it's a roguelite. It could be quite random where everything is placed. So I like to use the R1 for the commando. It has a stun on it. Very good for the bigger enemies. Got a roll on L1. Very good for dodging. There are items you can get which will increase the number of charges you have on those moves as well. Not always. And this is where you want to think, depending on the character you pick. It might not always be beneficial to have those moves changed, but that can happen. But you'll start realising this sort of stuff when you start learning what all the items are. So I'm just hanging around a bit. I want to get that one. That should be a chance to stun on hit. Very useful. Enemies can get out of hand very quickly. They can be dealt with quite easily, but you always want to be making sure that you are taking care of the enemies around you as you're moving through. So we've got some money now. Have a look around, see if we can spot the teleporter. Have found a shrine though, which I would like to point out to you. There is fall damage on. So please be aware when throwing yourself off things, but you can use things like the roll to help mitigate any fall damage. That's very handy as I'm going to be sprinting around a lot. So, what's the way up here? I want to show you this shrine. It does say what it does. I don't have a double jump, so there will be another way up. There we go. So this shrine, it'll give me money for 50% of my HP. If you haven't got a way of getting health back, that could be really bad, but I'm going to use it, because I have. So I get a big chunk of money, and I lose some health. I can do it again for 75% of my HP, which I will, because I can get health back. 93% of my HP. Again, live on the wild side, very well. Do I not have 93% of my HP yet? Nope. But this will set me up nicely with some money. Thankfully I've got these healer drones, so I can quickly get my health back. But I've now fully used that, and I've got a good bit of money. So let's see what we got. Yes, attack speed, please. That should be a bit of defense. Yep. Bit of movement speed. Very, very useful. Oh, don't want to get frozen. Right. So Shrine of Chance there. There are shrines that will give you healing if you activate them. They look like the Shrine of Chances, but well, they're not. But they'll be the symbol's similar, but it'll be green instead of yellow. So got a bit of a movement speed buff now. Let's go run around, see if I can find this teleporter. You can abuse the terrain quite easily on this. It's very, very handy. There usually is. Ah, I messed that there. Anyway, around we go. Oh, there's a broken drone. I will always take that. Thank you. On the gunner is really good when enemies are lined up. Ooh, this here will give me some equipment by triangle. Let's see what we got. Throw a buzzsaw that comes back to you. Beautiful. There are some very pointless equipments. There are some amazing equipments. One that will show you the location of everything in the level, including the teleporter. So very good and powerful, that one. So this is where we started. Okay. Right, so let's keep moving to this side of the level. Nope. Let's get a turret. Trying a chance. Go on. See, nothing there, but now it's cost more to use it again. We will. Death mark. You can get 2 items from them and then they are done. But I'm not going to try another one just yet. And there we go. There's the teleporter. So now I know once you use the teleporter, the level is done. So you see I get 2 items and it's done. So, might as well use the many that I got before I activate the teleporter, but I'm going to go do it straight away because I'm already up to hard. And we're only on the 7th level. See that equipment does such good damage. There you go, and there's the item it drops. So I now got 2 of those. So the effect of it is doubled, more critical strikes, more stacks. You can then build. As you get certain items, you may find yourself you want to build towards certain things. when you find those items that dispense potential three items, you can use that to give yourself a good range of choices and to make your choices to build towards a certain thing. There will be ways, different paths other than just the teleporter. Hopefully I'll come across one and I can show you, but if not, if you notice in the top left corner, you can see my cache. So you can see this blue currency there called Lunar Pods, or Lunar Coins. These carry across between all your runs, and you can use them to get very powerful upgrades within the game. These upgrades will do all manner of crazy things. One of them is even open up new paths to a shop. I'll give you the option to get some really powerful items, but you've got to donate the items you've already got, and you don't get a choice. Straight into the teleporter, good chunk of XP, bit of level up, and away we go. Rally Points Delta. Good, I don't know where we are. Wow, I've never actually spawned up here. As you can see, the turrets that I've bought that are in place just spawn randomly, start attacking stuff. This is why they're good to pick up, because they get you money straight away by attacking random enemies. So let's start making my way through. I know the paths through these levels. I know roughly where things spawn. Let's see some stuff over there. I want to check up here first. So many good sources of healing at this point. Very, very useful to have, rather than just the offensive upgrades you can get. So this is that 3D printer I was mentioning, but not really interested in that item. It gives you bonus damage when things are above 90% health, but I'm not really interested in that sort of situational damage. I like flat bonuses across the board. I find that works better for me. Find some barrels, which give you some extra money. Got some exploding barrels here. Still haven't managed to open that. You've got to get here quick enough before the timer is... Well, I've never even got to that point quick enough, so I'm not even going to suggest that I know exactly what's supposed to happen, but another things that... little things that are dotted throughout each of these biomes that are things to do. Get a certain item first. That's a good one. Extra charge to my backup skill. So now I've got 2 charges on my L2, which is a very useful skill when enemies are grouped up. Use a Shrine of Chance. Turn invisible at low health. I do not like that item. I've got lots of sources of healing. I don't actually get to low health that often, so... Ooh. Sometimes enemies will drop lunar coins. So I can get them at rustic. So sometimes there will be a lockbox that appears in the level. I've now got the item to actually unlock that. I think once you get the key, it has the potential to spawn in the next zone you go to, but... Don't quote me on that, but nope, I'm not interested in that. At this point, because I haven't recycled any items, it would be completely random what I actually donate to that 3D printer. And while there are certain green items I'm not interested in, most of the white ones I want to keep. And here we go. This is a lunar pod. That thing there, oh, that's not a bad item. Get some health as I stand still, some more attack speed. Never, ever, ever bad. So I can use one of those lunar pods. I'm going to get a special item by the look of it. ignites everything, including you and allies. That sounds so very dangerous. I'm curious. In the name of science, I want to know. 30 seconds, I'll find out. Let's move on. The item I dropped will always stay there, so I can come back for it if I'm unsatisfied. And there's the teleporter. So let's see how it does with the boss fight. So even once I've finished this, I can go back and get that equipment if I really want to. Oh, look at what we've got here. The magma worm. Let's see then, triangle. Pardon me? Okay, but yeah, I'm always healing, so that's actually amazing. Sometimes this magma worm can go anywhere on the map, and it can get annoying because, as I mentioned, you've got to stay within a certain zone for this teleporter to charge. You can see it by this red circle around me. Once I get out of there, the teleporter will stop. You'll see now. Teleporter charging, enter teleport zone. Sometimes that worm can go quite fast. Some of the heroes that you pick can be very short range. I'm just going to do that again, because that was quite broken. Here we go. Thank you. Oh, and I've picked up a ukulele. Because, why not? Now, finish the boss. I like that. That item I got from the Lunar Pods. Not always the case. I've had some real game changers. Oh, there we go. Through the teleporter to the next zone. Siren's Call. Straight away. One of those shrines. That'll give me money for my health. Wait for my turrets to find me though. Got an item here. So this level is going to be in layers going... it should be across actually. There we go. So now as we moved on to the later levels, sometimes there are big bosses. Start straight away. All these things. Let's burn everything. Oh, this is quite broken. I don't get anything other than money and XP, but look at that. Plenty of money now. Boxes. The boxes do go up. That's what I want. Extra damage to the bosses. About time. The money, the cost of the boxes, the cost of turret, as you go through the levels, that cost goes up, but so does the amount of money you get from the enemies, so it always scales quite appropriately. Yeah, we go here, because I can get loads of health back quite easily. Turrets, please heal me. Thank you. I'm going to do the same trick again. Nice. Another one. So yeah, completely random what actually spawns in. As far as these shrines, there are other shrines. You've seen the Shrine of Chances, there are ones for healing. There are even shrines that will increase the number of bosses you fight at the teleporter battle. This will also increase the number of items they drop. That can be increased more than once as well, depending on the actual number of shrines, particular shrines you activate. There are shrines of combat as well. That will instantly spawn a big fight. This was good. This will get you some good money, especially if you find it straight away. There you go. And now I've killed some things. There's some items on the floor. Did spot you. Ooh, and equipment. So the equipment you use to repair this is what it'll use. Sometimes if you've got random equipment, say the one that tracks everything, not really useful for this drone, but I'm curious. I'm going to use it and see what it... Yeah, that's good. That's gonna get dangerous. I like that though. So that was an elite enemy. Oop, path down here. Detonate enemies, I'll kill. Very good. So yeah, that actually, yeah, that's very good, but very dangerous. It's going to follow me around and try and incinerate everything. It looks like it's constantly ready to die because it's killing itself actually, isn't it? Oh, let's get some more equipment. Me and my allies enter a frenzy. Okay, got another one of those turn invisible on low health. I really actually want to find... That's a good one. Chance to fire a missile. Oh, is that what I... Shrine of the Woods, yes. Gives you health just from activating it. So this is... Yep, this is where I was. I want to go this way. Yeah. Activate the other one. Get some more health on the go. And get some more, so I can activate that. Just get in here to get some health. See, missiles already doing good. So I want to find now, I mentioned it before, something that allows me to recycle the items I've already got. This will can then be used prioritized for 3D printers. That's useful. Right. So we want to find the teleporter as well. These movement speed buffs are coming in handy. As mentioned, here's the lockbox. Lots of critical strike damage. Haha, look at that. Donate to a Newt altar. There we go. So I use one of those lunar coins, and now when I get to the teleporter zone, if I find it, I will have, once it's finished charging, another portal will be there, and I can take that to a special zone, which we are going to do. If I can get out of here. There we go. Turret. Teleporter. No, let's not waste time. Yes. Sometimes the teleporters can be in some horrible places. So you can see this little blue wisp. That's from that altar of the Newt thing I got. And once we beat this boss, if I beat this boss, saying that. And try that item, see what happens, see what a frenzy. Oh wow. Okay, that died very, very fast. Retaliate. Oh, that's brilliant. Very good counter attack. So I've made this mistake many a time. You think because this blue wisp that when this finishes charging, you'll be good to go. But you've got to remember to use the right portal, otherwise you'll just spend the coin for absolutely nothing. So we just defend ourselves, harvest some XP. So it's unfortunate that you lose the money, but if there were any portals around when you started the event, any boxes or anything like that, to get items, they become locked out when you start the teleporter event, but when you finish it, you can go back and activate them if you want. Although I tend to try and farm up everything around, so once it finishes, I can just go through. Just gotta remember, I am not going in the normal portal, going into the special one. So that's done. To activate that, this is where I want to go. The blue portal. The more you use these, I think you go to other places, but I haven't actually. I've played this game a bit and I've completed a few runs, but there are still things that I haven't done. So in this crazy bazaar, you can actually get a character, one of the characters here. We're purchasing them from that strange lizard, but I've already done that. So you can use these lunar pods to get some items. No explanation about what they are, but you could. But here, you can donate items to get something else. The reds are always good. Let's see what we get. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I potentially liked, but plant a healing fruit on kill. Very strange. Okay. Let's go here. It's just a special little side world where you can potentially get some good items. There are plenty of these sort of things that going on throughout the runs. You can see the difficulty slider in the top right is still going up. It does get to an endpoint. Ooh. And here we are actually. This is always the last but one level for the end, if you choose to end. I'm going to at least show you, before I finish this video, what that potential end is and how to activate it, and this is how you get artifacts which you can use for future runs. So, turrets are doing their job. I want to find some items. Here we go, got a turret here. You can see the price of them are going up, but it's practically inconsequential. Just means you've got to think a bit more at the beginning, but I'll eventually have thousands and thousands of coins by the end of it. And I'll just be able to pick up whatever I want. But at the beginning you may find yourself just going backwards and forwards in a similar area. I love it when things work out. So as I mentioned, this is always the last but one area you get to before you get to the final zone, which I'm not going to show you, but I'm just going to say that if you get to the teleporter and activate the teleporter, you'll go to this final zone where you can fight the final boss and try and finish this run. However, there is an alternate, something else you can do. Take that. Another Newt altar. Never actually used one from here. I'm going to do that. See what happens. So, you see this circular area? this is where you want to get to. If you want to carry on your run and get some artifacts, you want to make your way down. There is ways where you can just pretty much throw yourself to the area, but you might not always have a good teleportation means. So once you're down there, you follow this path along. Said the layout. Ooh, a missile drone. Thank you very much. And 3D printer where I could use that red item to get a different one. I'm going to. Healing past fall grants you a temporary Barret. Hello. That's better than the healing plant. I've got plenty of ways to heal me. So make your way along and you'll get to this zone here. It's a place to artificially create a portal. But how do you do that? Well, first you need to lock in the coordinates, which you can see here. So we need to recreate that. Go to one of these for squares. You can do different shapes, but we know it's squares with a triangle in the middle. There we go. Then we come to this console here, submit the formula, and this portal will open. You can go through here to get new artifacts, and then once you've finished with the artifact, you'll portal to another level, and the run will continue. You can revisit zones you've already been to, but you'll always end up back here before you go to the final fight, which you get to by finding the actual teleporter of the level, which is what I'm going to try and do. Go here. Oh yeah, these are items, aren't they? I like the item I've got. So I'm looking for the teleporter. About there. Maybe notice the remix of the music that's going on. Very, very cool. So these are yellows, these are more equipment, but I want to keep the equipment. Let's see the teleporter. It's going to be over there somewhere, isn't it? Oh, that's my crazy bit of equipment. That's just burning everything. There is no limit to the actual number of items you can carry. So once you've got some bit of money, just feel free to open every box, everything you can. Just be warned that sometimes they conflict with each other, and that can really mess up what you've actually got going on. Yeah, I'll take a turret. Come on, where are you? Another turret. Equipment. So even though these are just turrets are just not going anywhere, it's still so very useful to have. As you move around the level, the enemies will be all over the place. These turrets are really... Oh, I want to be up there. Those turrets are really good at just taking out, dealing with those enemies, keeping your cash flow going. There you go. These green. Oh, that was a green item. So you can see I had a choice of two, and there was a question mark, and that will be a random item. If you don't like the look of whatever is on offer, which I don't, because I've already got some of it. Enemies with 4 or more debuffs are marked for death. See, mid-air roll there. Take that. Chance to drop treasure on kill. That's a good way of building money. Oh, I'm telling you now, I want that. Oh, and I'm dead. I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, I don't get to show you the final teleporter. Anyway, that's the end of my run. So I hope you have a good idea of if this is the sort of game you want and whether you'll like it. Online is brilliant, single player is brilliant, couch co-op is brilliant. It's a fantastic addition to the PlayStation Plus catalogue. But that's just my opinion. If this is the sort of thing you want to have a go at, I certainly suggest it. So just want to say deal and thank you for watching.